Welcome to Dudes on Dudes. I'm Julian Edelman. Rob Gronkowski somewhere in the hemisphere doing something somewhere. Who knows what, but we'll be back next week to do the All Dudes defense team. But we do have another special episode coming at you this week. Gronk's somewhere. We want him here. So we put together all the tight ends we've done so far and conveniently put them all in one place right here in the Nut House, in the hemisphere. And then we wrap up the show by naming the Chillest Dude of the Week, presented by Coors Light. They're blue. You know what that means. All right, guys, get ready for a whole lot of tight end talk. Let's go.
Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio.
Let's move on to our first guest.
Who's that?
Who catches 100 balls every fucking year. Travis fucking Kelce. This guy's a production machine. What does AI have to say about Travis, Michael, Kelce? Start the clock now.
Travis Kelce is widely regarded as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history.
Oh, yeah.
Known for his exceptional receiving skills and athleticism. So far, I agree.
I agree.
Off the field, he is seen as a charismatic and dedicated individual.
He is.
Often praised for his leadership and community involvement. Kelce has made a significant impact on the Kansas City Chiefs, helping them secure multiple playoff appearances and a Super Bowl victory. And AI, not right here, Super Bowl victories. You gotta make it plural.
He got three.
Yeah, he's got three.
He's in the category.
Yeah, he's got three AI. I mean,
What they say? Just Super Bowl victory?
I knew we were smarter than AI.
They're not there yet.
Yeah, Super Bowl and a Super Bowl victory, it says. All right. He holds several notable records, including the most consecutive in overall seasons with 1,000 receiving yards by a tight end.
Jesus.
Recently, Kelce has been in the spotlight for dating Taylor Swift, co-hosting the popular podcast New Heights with his brother Jason Kelce,
Killer,
and becoming the Chiefs' all-time leader in receptions, surpassing the legendary Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, wow.
And there's still a myth about Tony Gonzalez that has not been solved. The urban legend.
The urban legend.
We're not going to talk about it.
This
We're just going to let that be. This is about Travis.
This is about Travis.
This is about Travis. Tony, we know that no matter what, you are the number one tight end in the world because of that myth.
Good things coming through with you.
Yes.
Tony.
Good thing coming through with Tony Gonzalez. Oh, man.
Killer Trav, man.
Killer Trav.
He's so slippery.
He is slippery. That's a good way to put it. Slippery. Smooth. Flexible. Functionable.
He's got like a very...
reliable.
He's got a very... I remember us talking about it. He just has that basketball body where like he doesn't get hurt. He's always... He's elegantly running when he runs. He's faster than what you think. And he's stronger than what you think. And he's always in the right position.
Always in the right position. He knows how to find an open hole better than any tight end I have ever seen.
Finding an open hole?
Yeah, in the defense, Julian.
Okay.
The defense, okay? If it's zone, he can find,
the soft spot.
Yeah, that's soft spot.
The soft spot of the zone.
And just
what about man?
And sit in it.
What about man?
Man coverage? Oh, man.
He's got great bow routes. You see him? He got the top of his route.
He's so like savagey. Yeah, savvy at the top of the route. Like he can go to boom, 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 like a basketball player dribbling when they're at the top, one-on-one, crossing over. Like he's got that, and that's what truly gets him open as well. And that's what makes him a great player is because of his knowledge in the zone game, the ability to find the open hole, to find where the grass is, so he can sit there and Patrick Mahomes can just dump it right to him, and then also the ability to just be so savvy at top of the route and have that crossover type of skills, and then boom, 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 make the DB confused or the safety or the linebacker. That's rare, a linebacker on him, to make them confused what way he's going, and boom, he breaks out, and he has that separation. He can get that separation because of it. And when he has that separation, you have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes, he's going to find you every single time and put that ball on the money.
Can you keep them separated? What's that from?
That's a song.
Can you keep them separated?
Is that, dang. Who sings that again? I know who that is.
I don't know.
I'm getting a tattoo now. I'm getting ink done. That's the same artist, right? I asked for a 13, but they drew a 30 with Offspring.
Offspring.
Yes.
You gotta keep them separated.
I think that's the same song too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. The Offspring.
Now,
Travis Kelce is like an Offspring. He's different from every tight end. He's one of the best ever to play. That's being an Offspring right there.
Now, do you
not a traditional guy?
I gotta ask you something.
Yeah, ask me, Jules. Ask me and I'll answer. I'm not scared.
You ever get sick of people comparing them to you?
You know, there's really like not a comparison. I mean, you can compare us, but we're two totally different players, to tell you the truth. And like, it all depends on what type of scheme you're in as well.
Yeah.
You know, like what they ask him to do with the Kansas City Chiefs, I could not replicate what he's doing with the Chiefs. If you ask him to do what I was doing with the New England Patriots, I don't think he could replicate. He could do it. Like I could do what he's doing, but I wouldn't have been able to replicate what he's doing with the Chiefs at that level. Yeah. And they know how to use his skill set. We have two totally different skill sets by far. Like he's savvy at top of the route. I'm going to run and I'm just going to go to the corner. And I'm going to outrun the guy. I'm going to use my body. I'm going to be physical. And Tom just throw the ball up. And if the guy's on me, I'm bigger than him. I'm going to use my body, box him out, and just go up and catch the freaking ball. All right? Just throw me the ball. There was nothing more to it. This guy has like 8 moves. He's like a wide receiver out there. So we're two totally different players. Yeah. You can compare us because we both wear the number 87. So that's in comparison right there. But if he fit, if you brought him to the New England pitch, I don't think he would be able to do what I was doing. He would be able to do it, but not to the capable level that I was be able to do it at. So we're different players, man. Yeah. Totally different players. He has mastered his skill set as well, just like I mastered my skill set and what I brought to the table. But I mean, I'm not, sick of it. I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he definitely belongs as the best tight end in the NFL, or debatable as being the best tight end in the NFL due to his stats and what he has done for the position. But it's just an honor, I guess. It's an honor to be in the same category.
Now, what if you guys were both on the same team?
I think we would be perfect to be both on the same team. I mean, I feel like we kind of counter each other. There's no doubt about it. Just the way, like I was saying, how we were different players, his aspect of the game, how he, can line up anywhere, how he can motion to any point on the field at any given time. I was kind of the guy like, Tom, do I really got to motion across the line of scrimmage? like sometimes I was in the huddle, like, Tom, I know I got a motion here, but I'm just going to line up over there, man. I'm like too big to be motioning, Travis is lighter, you can motion him around, set him up. Yeah. I had that happen before.
I remember.
Yeah. I got a lot of mass. So we would complement each other unbelievable. And I would say that we would have been the best duo. I would say one of the best duos to play if we play with each other. Don't you think so?
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
We kind of had that.
Yeah, we did. I was actually going to say that we would have broke the records of me and the other guy. About I won't mention names. Yeah. We broke basically every record in the book when it was him and I, number 85. Yeah. I think he had like 2 numbers. I think he was 81 at first, 81. And then number 85. Yeah. So we broke every record in the book for being dual tight ends. Like we had 26 touchdowns that year and 2,400 yards just between tight ends. Travis Kelce and I together would have definitely matched those numbers or produced even more. Then you at slot receiver, then Randy Moss out wide.
Just there's so much clutchness going on in that.
Who would be our quarterback there? Mahomes or Brady? Or would we have them both and one would play one half?
I gotta go Brady. We gotta go Brady.
I know. I agree.
Because we don't know. I don't know how to play with. We don't know how to play that scramble drill, second play within a play. That was not like our forte. So those guys learn that. It's that scramble drill. Like Travis is always open when there's that second play within the play that Patrick Mahomes creates, and they've got on such a wavelength where he's always in the open position and he knows where to go. He reads and scans the field better than anyone. And he always finds open, and Mahomes always delivers it to him. So it'd be different. It'd be very different.
Yeah, that second phase of a play, he's got that down to a science on how to get open. I mean, that's due to Patrick Mahomes being able to scramble like that. But Travis is also one of the most clutch players in the history of the NFL. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to playoff performances or tough
got all the numbers
game. He has all the numbers. He has all the catches when it's that time to make a play.
And he's swaggy as fuck.
He is swaggy. He's smooth. But I swear it's due to the fact that he has that like basketball mentality, the basketball body. Like, yeah, like he's not jacked. He has another dad bod like Patrick Mahomes in a way, but a little bit skinnier, a little bit more proportioned dad bod, I would say. But those guys, man, I'm telling you, they don't get hurt. They don't pull muscles. And it's because they're not tight. And he's not tight at all. And I swear that's what makes him the player fluid. That he is. He's fluid is the word that I'm looking for.
Pliable. Mm-hmm. Dude, and people are worried about him right now.
Why?
I'm not worried because his production's a little down. Yeah, he had a good game, but I'm not worried until like Travis is gonna show up when the team needs him in December, January. That's that's when you need him. Okay, he's 34 years old now. He's chilling until that point, and he'll turn it on, and these jokers will probably go out and win again because he's part of that formula. Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce, Spags, and Chris Jones.
And on top of it, he kind of is a complete tight end. He doesn't get the job done in the trenches. You're not going to put him one-on-one with a freaking 280-pound defensive end like, Coach Belichick loved to do with me in practice and just, get my brains, just mushed every day versus Rob Ninkovich and all the other guys. He just loved putting me versus every single practice and just loved watching me just bang my head every day and then go out and do it in games. But it was fun. I loved it. That's why I did it and never complained. But he gets the job done. You want to know how I describe blocking James Harrison? That's kind of what he does. He's kind of got it down to
He gets in the way.
He gets in the way.
And he knows where the play has to hit and he springboard.
That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. If you got that down to a science, which he does, and I've seen him do it, it springs the running back still. The guy does not make the play. So he's got it down. And tell you the truth,
he's a superstar.
He's a superstar.
He's dating Taylor fucking Swift, and they might have a kid.
They should have a kid. They should.
That would be a great kid.
It'd be what would kid be performing, like, having 8 catches a game, and then like halftime he's doing the halftime show in like 24 years.
Probably sooner.
Yeah.
Taylor was on the scene when she was like 13.
All right. So it would be like the new Ryan Williams. You know how he's 17 years old at Alabama? So their kid would be like 14 in college. They'll just surpass like middle school because he's so smart.
And then he would go like do a duet with he would go do something with Quavo right after.
Yeah. So, and then he'll be in the league at 18 and then singing and performing at halftime.
Top 10 hits and a TikTok song.
Dang, they need to have a kid if that's the case.
They gotta have a kid.
They gotta.
And we would be crazy not to talk about last year's AFC Championship game when all year we kept on hearing people, not me. Chiefs are done. They look old. They look slow. Where's Travis Kelce? What are they doing? Red hot Baltimore. What are they doing red hot Baltimore? He goes 11 catches on 11 targets in the AFC Championship when everyone knows they're throwing him the ball. That's a killer. That's why they call him Killer Trav.
Clutch. One of the most clutch players of all time. I said that already. How about when I first met him? My really first time of truly meeting him, truly meeting him. He came to Gronk Beach, man. It was really cool. He was in Vegas. The draft was in Vegas. And he came up to Gronk Beach. You were there. I was hammered, man. I was hammered, actually. It was one of the few times in the last few years where I was pretty hammed up. And I'm awesome when I'm hammed up, actually. You jumped on my back. I didn't even feel it. Didn't even care who was on my back. I just started running around on stage, Jules, and you jumped on my back. Yeah. And all of a sudden, Killer Trav shows up, and we're having a dance-off on the stage.
He can dance.
And he can dance.
And Rob could dance, but
I can dance kind of like they're my own dance moves, but he can for real dance because, like we said, he's fluid. I got too muscular, man. I just never worked out like the way I worked out like in high school and college. Like I should have been doing like more pliability stuff.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because that was kind of my motto. Like that was kind of my persona, being jacked.
Rob, you look like you were a senior in high school playing against fourth graders when you were playing.
But imagine
if I was still
imagine like if I was looser and I could dance better and still be playing.
You could
football.
dance. You dance your own style. You're good.
You're right. I'm the best at dancing my style. Ain't no one can match me.
Ain't nobody matching him. All right, time. Let's drop in. What kind of dude is Travis Kelce?
I mean,
like,
you kind of just said it already. You hit it right off the bat without even thinking about it, without even going over the categories. I mean, we got freak. I don't really think he's a freak.
He's not a freak.
Maybe somewhere else he's a freak.
He's freaking the sheets, maybe.
Yeah, freaking the sheets because, but
killer Trav.
But hey, that's all I'm going to say. That's how far I'm only going to go. But on the football field, like his physical attributes, no, not really a freak. Like we said, dad bod, but fluid. So like a freak is like DK Metcalf. Like that dude's freaky.
Yeah, he eats like Cheetos for breakfast and he's got a 19-pack.
Yeah, exactly.
This guy.
A dog. He's definitely a dog. He's definitely motivated.
Trav is a dog. I think he's a dog.
He is.
He's a dude's dude too, I bet. I bet you he's so cool in
great locker room guy here.
He's a stud.
Drink some beers with you.
He's a whiz. He is.
That's because he knows how to get open. I wouldn't say he's like a true whiz, but he's a whiz at his position. Kind of just like myself. Tight ends don't know. We know the whole playbook, but we're not like the smartest. We know what we just need to know.
Rob, you didn't mess up much.
Yeah, but like I said, we know what we need to know.
Hey, so is he a stud?
Is he a stud? He is a stud.
He is a stud. He's
definitely a stud. But is he a dog? I think it's between stud and dog.
I think because he went to Cincinnati and he was a 5th round draft pick or 3rd round draft pick. He had the troubles in college with the marijuana bullshit. That's why he dropped to the 3rd. I think that's like
kind of being more of a dog.
That's a dog.
Because if you're getting in trouble for that stuff and you're a stud,
and you're still going out and performing, studs don't get in trouble for that.
Yeah, studs don't get in trouble. Studs can get out of it. You got to be a stud on the field and off the field in order to be labeled a stud.
Yeah.
And like getting in trouble for that,
it's kind of a weak thing to get in trouble, but it's also a dog.
It's a dog. You get in trouble, a dog goes in its cage and it comes back out.
That's a dog.
That's a dog. He's a dog.
Stamped a dog.
Dog.
Let's move on to our next guest. So I'm just going to check my Instagram live here.
Oh, well, hold on. Let me check mine.
Are you off?
I have a text message, though. It starts with dicks and inertia wave.
What?
Yeah.
Dicks and inertia wave?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's the first 4 words. So, dicks and inertia wave are collaborating with Rob.
What is that? A text?
Am I accepting this collaboration?
Oh, Dick's Sporting Goods.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods.
Oh, Jesus.
But it says dicks and inertia wave. Like, this is getting raunchy. But it kind of goes with Shannon Sharpe and his Instagram Live. So make sure those Instagram Lives are turned off right now, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't know what may happen.
Start the clock. What's AI got to say about Shannon?
Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is renowned as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history, known for his exceptional athleticism and competitive spirit. Off the field, he is admired for his charismatic personality and dedication to community service. That was community service on that Instagram Live. It made a lot of people happy. A lot of people happy.
A lot of people got happy.
Yeah, they sure did. And entertainment, too. Entertainment, hey, that's community service.
That's serving the community.
Yes, it sure is. All right. We're getting a little out of hand now. AI. Sharpe made a significant impact on the Denver Broncos and Baltimore Ravens, winning 3 Super Bowl titles and becoming a key player in their offenses. He was the first tight end to surpass 10,000 receiving yards. I don't even have 10,000 receiving yards.
He's a monster.
And this was back in the day. That's beastly. And held the records for most receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns by a tight end at the time of his retirement. Sharpe's post-retirement career as a sports analyst has farther solidified his influence in the football world. Mm-hmm. And he's not just an analyst in the football world either. He's an analyst in all of sports, which he has broadened his fan base big time by, breaking down basketball, breaking down badminton if he had to. Dude, like, this guy can do it all in the broadcasting world.
When he went up with Skip, him and Skip, like, he could battle him. Mm-hmm. He could talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's famous for a reason, mm-hmm. not just his podcast, Uncle Shay Shay, and everything that he's got going. This guy's like, you could tell he's a fucking smart guy. He looks like he could still play.
He sure does. He looks like a linebacker now as well. He looks like
he's jacked.
Like he can go out there and just level fools and just get right back up. He is jacked. And I think he posted an Instagram within the year of him benching still. And I think it was like 385. It was around there. Don't quote me the exact weight, but it was right around there. And he put it up like 5 times as well.
Jesus.
He's huge. Jacked.
I watched a lot of the films and the mic'd up and stuff.
Yeah.
He could talk some shit, too.
Oh, he's one of the...
Shannon Sharpe could talk some shit.
He is the biggest shit-talking tight end in NFL history.
Without a doubt.
About it. No doubt about that. How about when he came to Foxborough, one of the old stadium back in the day? Obviously, he was playing in the 90s, and he picked up the phone, that red phone.
No one picks up the red phone.
No one picks up the phone. You get
what was he
your
saying?
Ass busted if you pick up that phone. Hey, someone call the president. What did he say exactly? Someone call the president. We're killing the Patriots. Send in the troops.
Man,
something like that. It was right along those lines. Right. Yeah, we are killing the Patriots. Someone call the president. We are killing the Patriots.
And this is back before like talking to the cam. Like now we see players always talking to the camera on the sideline or before a game, pregame, postgame. Like Shannon Sharpe was an innovator of a lot of that. Like when you'd see the guys warming up in the warm-ups and stuff, he'd always engage the camera, like and let you know he's about to run up all over your ass in the game that week and start talking to the fans. He's fucking crazy.
He is crazy. I mean, he has wide receiver build because I think he was drafted as a wide receiver as well.
Was he?
Yeah, he was. And then he put on some weight. Obviously, you got to put on weight if you're drafted as a wide receiver. Went to the tight end position, but that kind of explains why he was such a great route runner because he was a receiver coming into the NFL. And that kind of explains why he's so jacked as well because he had that skinny frame and then he had to hit the weights hard. There's no doubt about it. He has like this downhill speed. Like when he gets going, he catches that ball, he's gone. Like right when he catches, he's gone.
He was athletic as hell. He's a freak.
Run by, yeah, he is a freak. There's no doubt about that.
He's low key kind of a freak.
I don't even think we got a debate at the end. I think he's a freak no matter what.
Well, we know he's a freak in them sheets.
Yeah, he is. I mean that Instagram Live. Back to the Instagram Live real quick. Do you think it was set up? I mean, to get into Instagram Live, you have to open up your phone. Your face has to be recognized, or you got to put your password in. Then you got to hit Instagram. Then you got to hit like the story button. Then you got to move over to the right and hit Instagram Live. And then when you hit that, it says, "Are you sure you want to go live?" And then you got to hit yes. I mean, I still think it's an accident.
Is it an inside job?
It's
was
an
it
accident.
The girl?
It was an accident.
Was it a girl? Or was he live before? I don't know the story.
Was he live before and accidentally put his phone down? I'm not sure. But I mean, it was entertainment. I mean, props
I didn't
to him.
listen.
He was getting the job done. I didn't listen either.
What a hell of a career. What he won? 3 Super Bowls, 2 with the Broncos and John Elway in that late Broncos surge of John's career. And then he went to the Ravens and was part of that founding block of foundation for that organization. Him and Ray Lewis, like Ray was the guy that had the team. And it was like they always had like quarterbacks that weren't necessarily like big name quarterbacks. It was more of playing to the defense. And, you know, the guy on the offense that was always represented was Shannon Sharpe. That's what I remember as a kid. When you watched the Ravens, it was Shannon Sharpe's team on the offense. And that's crazy. The crazy thing about Shannon is his brother Sterling and the amount of respect he had for his brother, who he had like he played how many years? He played 7 years in the league, got cut with the neck injury, got cut short with the neck injury, was like tearing up everything, was all pro 5 times, led the NFL in receptions 3 years. And it was really cool to hear when Shannon got inducted to the Hall of Fame that he would be the only guy up there in the Hall of Fame that had a brother that was better than him. He said something along those lines. I'm paraphrasing. So you have to give a shout out to Sterling. And he was really good on TV back in the day too. I remember.
Well, shout out to Sterling as well, because actually I didn't know any of this has ever occurred. I didn't know that Shannon had a brother.
He was a monster
that played in the NFL. Thank you for the facts, Jules. Thank you for the knowledge. We're always here to learn. That was pretty cool that you know more about a tight end than I know about a tight end. So that was cool.
It's pretty cool to hear the brother.
It is.
He had an older brother. Like, do you have any of those stories where your older brother like punked you into?
Of course. That's why I also think it was really cool that you shared that story, because I got 3 older brothers and 1 younger brother played on their teams growing up. Played same football teams in high school and college, and didn't remember Dan was on our team with the New England Patriots for a little bit. Yeah, big piece. He does have a big piece, and it's dark as well. Yeah, so it's like a double whammy, big piece. Yeah,
double whammy, big piece.
Yeah, it's tan, I guess. I don't know. That's what I've heard. That's what his wife told me.
You're his brother. You've definitely seen his dick.
No, he's never showed me. No. I was making fun of him one time, and then his wife came in like, well, he has a bigger and darker dick than you. And I was like, well, I know that, but I'm going to keep making fun of him. Like, I already know that. That's why I am making fun of him, so I can make myself feel better. Okay, back to Shannon Sharpe, who has a sharp piece. Well, why are we Jules, why are we talking about this stuff?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, this is dude talk, though. This is dudes on dudes. Like, this is so great because whenever we get off, subject and topic and everything, we can always just blame it on the name of the show.
It's
dudes just being dudes.
Rambles.
And no lie, that's what dudes do, man. Dudes talk about, it's weird. Why do dudes talk about piece sizes so much? Like when it's just the dudes like on the couch watching the game.
I don't
Why
think
is that?
I don't know.
It always comes back to that. It's weird.
Mono y mono.
Mm-hmm.
Fourth leg.
The greatest trash talker of all time. I was watching him on the NFL, one of those NFL shows, top 100 shows, wherever. I had the NFL channel on, and someone told Shannon Sharpe before, don't quote me exactly, it's just along these lines. They said, hey, Shannon, you want to be famous, you want to be well known, then don't block. And Shannon Sharpe took that to heart. And he went out there and goes, I'm going to go out there and catch passes. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to be well known. I'm going to be famous. And I'm going to catch passes, score touchdowns, and get first downs. And that's sure what he did. But he wasn't that bad of a blocker either. He went out there, he got it done. He's kind of one of the first tight ends to revolutionize the tight end position as well, and to open up an offense at the tight end position. And he's kind of more of an H-back tight end as well, kind of shorter, more stockier, and he got the job done. He could run. He runs like a deer.
He didn't have all those stats for not being great.
Mm-mm.
I mean, he's a monster. Did you ever watch that Cat Williams interview?
Nah, I haven't. But
I didn't either, but I just remember the hype of that whole thing. That's what happened. What, Cat Williams went on like a 3-hour rant?
I feel like Shannon would be a great time to hang out with. Like,
I bet
back in the day when he was your teammate and you went out to the club with him, he would be a freaking great. He would go up and talk to any girl, I bet. He just talks trash 24/7. He would go up. He'd be in the club talking to like 8 girls at once, talking garbage about his teammates, or hyping you up like
he'd probably hype you up.
Hyping you up.
He'd
like
be
no
hyping
other,
you up.
Hyping you up. Yo, you see my boy over there?
Mouthpiece.
Yo, you see my boy over there? You see that touchdown he had? You see that? He needs a girl like you tonight. He needs a back massage. He needs some relaxation. We need him ready for next week. Can you please go over there and just sit on his lap? I'm telling you, good looking guy. I seen him. He seen him in the shower too before. I'm telling you, he's looking at him right over there.
Ultimate hype guy.
Yeah, ultimate hype guy. I bet you would be like that.
But you probably hate playing against him. Like, we never played against him. You probably hate playing against Shannon Sharpe just because of A, his production, how good he was, and B, he let you know how good he was.
Mm-hmm. Most ripped tight end of all time too.
He's up there.
No, up there. He is the most ripped.
Look at him. He's fucking jacked.
Jacked. Biceps freaking sticking out.
He loved that Hennessy. I've seen him drinking Hennessy. Is it a bunch, right? There's always pictures. I swear he'll be working out. I don't know what it is, but this guy, I don't know how he can drink that alcohol and look that great. God touched him. Because he's fucking a monster in a great way. Who were some of the best trash talkers you played against?
Oh, Charles Suggs. He was great.
T-Sizzle?
Yeah, T-Sizzle.
Comes through that same route.
Yeah,
the Ravens.
Yeah, he does. T-Sizzle was great, man. He was a scary player as well. He was massive. T-Sizzle loved to talk garbage.
What did he say to you?
I mean, it was so long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so long
ago.
ago.
Fuck you, Gronk.
Yeah. Like just shit like that.
I'm gonna kill you, Gronk.
No, he loved to talk like over the line and over me and just direct it right to Brady.
Did he?
Always, man. He was just directing it right to Tom every single game. And then I would be in front of him like, yeah, you ain't touching Tom. I'm here. I'm chipping your ass. You ain't getting to him. Yeah. But I would never talk garbage back really to him because he was scary too. Yeah, he was scary. Yeah.
T-Sizzle.
I don't know.
Bart Scott said, fuck you to Billy O's. Remember that? In the playoff game? Bart Scott.
Bart Scott.
I remember when Bart Scott went up he was 3 inches from Billy O'Brien's face and said, fuck you, white boy. And Billy O's Tea Kettle, he goes, fuck you, Bart.
I love when Billy O yells, man. It always got me excited and always got me going.
They beat our ass that game. That was when we were 14-2.
Yeah, they did. They
beat our ass in that division game.
Yeah, they
fucking
did.
Jets.
We should have never lost that freaking game.
What was it? What was Bart Scott's thing?
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to lose the next game.
10 minutes is up. All right, what kind of dude is Shannon Sharpe?
I mean, freak, absolute freak.
He's
freak
a
in the weight
freak.
room, freak on the field, freak in the sheets, just freak on the Undisputed show, freak on Sirius Radio when he was on. He's been a freak his whole life.
He's freaky.
He's freaky, freaky, freaky.
He's also, he can be dog.
Oh, a little bit, but he's more of a freak.
He's a freak.
He's Freaky Friday.
That's stamp. He's a
Freaky
freak.
Friday.
Freaky Friday. Let's get on George Kittle. Rob, what do you got? What's AI saying?
Let's see what AI has today for me. George Kittle. Here we go.
AI.
George Kittle is known for being an exceptional tight end with a combination of dynamic receiving skills and strong blocking ability. He excels in both the passing game and the run game, using his athleticism, speed, and physicality to make plays and create opportunities. Kittle is also recognized for his toughness and versatility, making him a key weapon in the San Francisco 49ers offense.
I agree.
His ability to gain yards after the catch and his effectiveness as a blocker make him one of the most well-rounded and impactful tight ends in the NFL.
Let's start the clock. We already should have. We're 2 minutes in. Yeah, dude. Kittle, he's like the first of this whole Iowa fucking craze tight ends, isn't he? Who else was in there?
Not necessarily. I'm going to kind of throw myself into that category. You want to know why?
You went to Iowa?
No, I didn't go to Iowa, but you want to know why?
Why?
My first 2 years in the NFL,
yeah,
my tight end coach
who
was Brian Ferentz.
Brian Ferentz, offensive coordinator for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I remember Brian Ferentz. He would always put you up on that board. He was a fun coach.
I love Brian Ferentz. I'll still remember to this day some of the lessons he taught me. And first off, he taught me how to block. He's the one who helped make me the blocker of who I was in the NFL.
Which is very much what
game.
Kittle is.
Exactly, and that's why Kittle is an all-around tight end, because they emphasize blocking first, no doubt about it. And on top of it, Brian Ferentz, many times, always told me, just keep being you, man. You're an awesome guy. Keep being you. It's going to get you to places that you would never imagine. So thank you, Coach Ferentz. I'll still remember that to this day. What I loved about Coach Ferentz, he says, when you're nervous, you're ready. And I was nervous coming into this podcast world, and I thought about him again. I thought about him every single game I had, and I was nervous. If you're nervous, you're ready. Thank you, Coach Ferentz.
You know what? And it's crazy. What Coach Ferentz basically said to you is probably everything that like Kittle is kind of shoots out on the field. You know, selfless guy, be yourself, which he's a very charismatic dude. When you think of, like, he's a funny dude. He's the guy who started Tight End U, which is this huge event which you get to go to all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, he's a character, not just off the field, but he's got that fun, like, little kid, like, Rob kind of energy, like Gronk energy when he's playing, because you guys both, like, when you guys both play, it looks like you guys are having the funnest time ever. You know, like, you guys like blocking. He loves blocking. Kittle gets open a lot because of how hard he blocks.
It's the truth, man. And if you're a good blocker in the NFL at the tight end position, you're going to be able to get those easy passes thrown your way. Like, that's the reward for blocking in the NFL, is the play action passes. When the linebackers step up, the quarterback just dumps it to you after the fake handoff to the running back, and boom, you catch it, 8 yards down the field, and boom, then you just make the safety miss. You can have a 20-yard gain off of a little play action pass and just keep the chains moving. Well, here's the question. Miami University was tight end U back in the day when I was high school. Is Iowa?
Who
they had freaking Greg Olson, Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow.
Winslow Jr.
Yeah, Winslow Jr.
What did he say? I'm a soldier.
Yeah. I'm a soldier. And he's like that because you want to know why he said it? Because he absolutely leveled like 5 guys on one play.
Yeah.
And then they asked him about that play. And then he goes, I'm a soldier. He's not taking any shit. He's in war. But they had a couple other guys as well that was going to the league that they were sending. The backups were getting drafted.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Fucking teammate.
I thought I said Greg Olson.
You know what?
I would never forget Greg Olson.
You can't. But that was the tight end U when we were growing up.
That was.
Tight end U now really has to be Iowa. And it's because of the start of this whole thing with Kittle. I mean, Kittle, 5th round draft pick, which makes it even more impressive. He's a 5th round guy. He wasn't the biggest dude. He wasn't the strongest dude, but he always fucking blocks his nuts off. He's willing to give his body up. He makes big time plays for his team when they need it on a crucial 3rd down. He makes red area blocks where he's taking his fucking defensive end and driving him in the end zone. Like, he's the guy that you always want to play with. That's the kind of, and he's always fun. You could tell he's positive. And he comes from like a Laura family from Iowa.
Wait,
like,
what do you mean, Jules? You can tell he is positive. Like, that's just a well-known fact that he is a positive guy. Whenever you're around George Kittle, like, your aura just lifts up. He's just always looking for the best thing out of anything that happens, you know?
Yeah. He's
like,
very optimistic.
Literally.
He's like optimistic, positive thinker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and honestly, that's the kind of vibes that you gave off when we were in the locker room. There's guys that are hardos. There's guys that are asshole. Like, I was a guy that was like, I had to be in a certain mindset to
asshole.
I had to be an asshole, not an asshole, but like
But you weren't an asshole, but you were like,
okay, I made guys
a hardo.
I was hardo.
But you weren't that. Just a tad bit, because you were, like you said, you were making them accountable, and that's what the technique you used to make them accountable.
And that's because I worked so hard, and it took me a long place to get to where I got. So like, that's what I was like. Then there was guys like Kittle and yourself that, like, you guys work insanely hard. You do great in the classroom, but you do it with like a smile on your face, and you're always happy. Like, there's different guys in the locker room, and that's what I feel when I think of like George Kittle. Like, guy is just like a positive, great dude to have around, especially with, you know, their locker room. They got so many different charismatics, characters there. Like, it's just a great piece. I think he's a freaking baller.
And going back to Iowa, and being tight end U, they also had TJ Hawkinson come out of Iowa, one of the highest paid tight ends in the game. Noah Fant. How do you say his last name? I don't know. Font. Noah Fant.
Seattle. He's boss.
Yes. He's a great player. He's huge, man. That dude's huge.
Tall.
You got Sam Laporta, the best rookie last year, went to the Pro Bowl, over 800 yards. I'm sure he's going to have over 1,000 yards and 10 plus TDs this year as well. Give the University of Iowa for this decade, you know, to be known as tight end U.
For sure. The story about his dad writing him letters before every game, that's pretty hard hitting. Did your pops ever write you anything?
No, my pops never wrote me anything like that, but he always motivated me, especially growing up. He always told me, hey, if you want to be better than everyone else, if you want to get to the next level, you got to outwork everyone. And my dad's been selling fitness equipment for over 30 years now. So he put a weight room in the basement and said, hey, you want to make it to the pros, buddy? You want to make it? You want to be able to dunk? You want to be able to block? You want to be able to toss guys around? Well, get your ass in the weight room and get stronger now. You know, he wasn't a hard ass about it, but he always led us that way. Hey, get in the basement now. You want to be strong? Get in the basement. You want to whoop some ass? Get in the basement.
That you got to have that. He's got that same, you know, it may be different because he's getting letters and you're eating weights. You know, it's still that dad kind of love. Like, I had mine in a different way. You always know and hear about him and his relationship with his family. He seems like just a fun dude off the field too.
He is a fun dude.
Have you ever hung out? You ever hung out with him?
I've only hung out with him at tight end U, and I just met him a couple other times, just really quick. And he's always fun, just so positive. And what I love about him, though, is that we are very similar. That's for sure. We have similar game. He's an all-around tight end, and he's the best all-around tight end in the game right now.
Blocker.
Yes, blocker. Yes, in the receiving game. What I really love about him is he's a WWE fan, bro. And he's the ultimate WWE fan. Pretty sure he's done a couple things with WWE, I think with WrestleMania. I think his favorite wrestler is like Luca Hana. He has that vibe to go into wrestling after he's done playing. He always be cutting WWE promos. He's always good. Upbeat. I mean,
he's good at those.
He's got great energy. I mean, in order to start National Tight End Day, he started tight end U while playing. He's got a lot of juice, and that's why people love him. That's why his teammates love him. I mean, I'm sure how many guys do you think he has picked up on his team that are down, that don't feel like playing, but there he is. He's there every day. Hey, guys, let's go. Let's have fun. Let's go make some plays. Let's go catch some balls. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. You know, his just aura is to pick guys up around him. That's a guy you want in your locker room. 100%. That's a guy you want on your team, especially at the tight end position, the best position in the game.
I mean,
not biased, you know.
I mean, he was a standout on the TV show Receiver. I mean, that's how big of an aura he has for a tight end. Like, he went under receiver and pretty much dominated that show.
Yep.
Not saying, like, statistically this, that, but, like, his story was, like, so fun watching on that. Him and his family, and he's got a crazy sneaker collection. He's a monster.
He is a monster, and it's just, he's like a guy that you want to work out with. When you're working out, sometimes you go into the workout, and you're like, I got to work out.
He's like a James Devlin in the weight room.
Yeah, he is. But then you just start working out with him, and boom, automatically the switch is switched. And
music's loud.
It's like turning the lights on. You just, when you're around him, you hit that switch up and boom, the lights are on.
I bet you he has a come out to the weight room song when he goes into the weight room. Like, he probably puts on one song, like a wrestling song, like a Stone Cold, and like, that's how I bet he starts his fucking workout, because he's so like that.
What I don't like about him, though, is he broke my receiving record. Well, Travis Kelce did too that year, but George Kittle broke my receiving record. He broke your receiving record? Yeah, I had 1,327 yards that one year. And yeah, he broke that. And plus, he had a 200-plus yard game, which is incredible. As a tight end, 200-plus yards.
But that's 10 minutes. We got to determine.
Oh, my gosh. Absolute monster.
So where do we put him then? What kind of dude is he?
What kind of dude is he?
A stud, a freak, a dog, a whiz, or a dude's dude? I mean, he's kind of a dude's dude.
I think so.
He's a stud, but like, he's so positive. Like, people don't.
Bro, you understand either. He's a freak, bro. This guy is so strong. Pound for pound in the weight room, he might be the strongest guy on the team.
Yeah, he's got that weird leverage strength.
I think he does, like, deadlifts like 500-plus pounds. From what I hear, I never worked out with him, but
he's mentally, he's got dog in him. But I'm leaning towards dude's dude.
He is a dude's dude. I got to go with that because he's a locker room guy.
Positive energy.
Calm,
cool, collect always. I've never seen a bad mic'd up on him.
No, I never have, man.
Like, I've yelled at referees and I've sworn, like, he's just like always like.
I actually envy his energy.
I want his energy.
Oh, wait, time out. Wow, we forgot his pitcher as well. Jules, I blame that on you. I blame that on you, Jules, because you were the veteran with the pitchers on the very first show.
That's my bad.
And that was my first time. I needed to be reminded.
The pitcher is so kid.
You forgot. But there he is, everyone. There he is. That picture just exemplifies him. That explains him totally. Tongue out, having a good old time, smiling with his tongue out. You know how hard that is to do?
Wrestling hair.
It's all greasy. Hasn't showered in a week. Just has dudes all over him from the last practice.
Swaggy sneaker.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Oh, man.
George Kittle. That was fun.
He's a dude's dude.
He's a dude's dude.
He is. I just on the field, off the field.
Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Julian Edelman.
And I'm Rob Gronkowski.
Sometimes you need to bring your A game when the moment strikes. And the secret, Rose Sparks.
Rose Sparks are a dual-action prescription treatment designed to help give you better, more spontaneous sex.
Ooh. And they're dissolvable. Just pop one under your tongue, let it work its magic, and in 15 minutes on average, you're in the game.
That's faster than most 2-minute drills, Jules. Plus, Rose Sparks stays in the game for up to 36 hours. No, you're not stiff-arming it for 2 days straight, but when the mood strikes, you're ready to score.
More confidence, more control, and more satisfaction for both you and your partner.
And Ro makes it easy, too. You connect with a medical provider online, no waiting rooms, no hassle. If approved, your prescription gets shipped right to your door.
And here's the deal. If prescribed, new sexual health patients get $15 off Spark on a reoccurring plan.
Connect with a provider at ro.co/dudes to find out if prescription Rose Sparks are right for you. That's ro.co/dudes for $15 off your first order.
Our last guy is someone that played before us. We never played with him. A legend. Tall, handsome. Crazy stories about him. You know,
crazy stories.
Urban legends about, like, he would only have
El Doubles.
What is that?
We're not saying what the El Dubres mean.
I don't even know what that means.
What type of El Dubres they were. But I heard the word in the street was El Dubres only or nothing.
What does El Double mean?
Not just one, but two, Jules.
El Doubles.
He was so good looking, he wouldn't allow just one.
El Double it is.
He would allow two only. I mean, that's just a word on the street.
That's the word on the street.
That's the urban myth. And let me tell you, it was my rookie year when I heard that urban myth. And man, did I think it was one of the coolest things I've ever heard. I wanted to be like this guy more than anyone else, man.
El Double Tony Gonzalez.
I mean, I already kind of know already from the beginning what category he fits in, but we'll wait till the end.
What's our co-pilot say, Rob?
Let's see what our co-pilot says about Tony. The good old Tony Gonzalez. He basically has every record in the record book at number 1 for a tight end.
Played a long time.
For the tight end position.
Keep it for the time limit. We'll keep it for the time limit.
They're talking about, keep it for the time limit. All right. Hit the time limit now. We're going to start the time limit when the co-pilot starts.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Better.
We're taking off. Co-pilot, check your engines. Check. Engines on. Tony Gonzalez was a highly skilled and versatile tight end in American football. Known for his exceptional receiving abilities, he was renowned, right? That was the right word again? Renowned. Hey, they use this word twice now. I mean, you know.
That's not good English skills by AI.
That's not good. We're smarter than co-pilot. For his precise route running, reliable hands, and athleticism. Over his career, Gonzalez became one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history. Earning 14 Pro Bowl selections. Let me put this stat into perspective. I've only played 11 football seasons in my career. 14 Pro Bowl selections.
Jesus, timeless. Latin don't crack, baby.
They don't. And numerous records for receptions and receiving yards at his position, including the tight end touchdown record as well. I think he has like 126 touchdowns. Actually, no. Antonio Gates holds that record.
Antonio Gates?
Yeah, he does. My bad. But Tony Gonzalez holds every other record. All right. His ability to contribute both as a receiver and a blocker made him a key asset to any offense. And that's the truth. He played for 2 teams. He was an absolute legend with the Kansas City Chiefs. And then he went to like the Atlanta Falcons at like what, 33, 34 years old?
And still balled.
And still balled at that age. I remember Coach Belichick. We played the Falcons a couple of times when I was a rookie, second year, third year player. And all he did was circle Tony Gonzalez and said, we have to stop this guy. If we want to win, if we want to have, you know, the ability to have a chance, if the defense wants to perform well, we have to stop Tony Gonzalez. We got to jam him off the line. He makes contested catches, so you got to follow through with the play. You know, make sure he doesn't get up and jump over you. Make sure he doesn't turn and get that ball. You got to follow every move he makes from the start of the play to the end of the play. And you got to double cover him.
You got to. I loved him, though, because
oh my gosh.
I remember at Berkeley, he was playing basketball, dunking on dudes. Like, he was a fucking athlete. He's one of the first, like, athletic tight ends, like pure athlete tight ends that the game has seen.
He was so smooth, and he was one of the first ever to start that tradition of, hey, a basketball player, a power forward can play in the NFL at the tight end position. And he played basketball at Cal, so shout out to the Pac-10. He played in the Pac-10.
R.I.P.
I played in the Pac-10. Yes,
R.I.P.
Rest in peace to the whole Pac-12 conference.
I didn't get to play in the Pac-10, but keep going, R.I.P.
Yeah. He made it to the Sweet 16 at the University of California. And in 2002, he played in the NBA Summer League as well for the Miami Heat. That's just the type of athlete Tony Gonzalez was. And I feel like that's kind of why he was the player he was and why he was so durable too, because he had that basketball background. I feel like basketball players sustain their athleticism and skill set way longer than football players. They're way more fluid. They're way more flexible.
Flexibility.
They're so much more smooth. I feel like
less muscle sometimes better for that.
It is. And I feel like football players trained well. No, I mean, trained the wrong way.
We trained too hard.
We trained too hard. Made us too stiff. And that's what made him the player that he was, because he trained like a basketball player.
He just was smooth always. He always looked smooth. You know, apparently the urban legend is that he's smooth off the field as well. But, you know, whenever you saw him go up and catch a ball, like in slow motion, it almost looked like he was a dancer, like with how effortless and light he was on his feet for such a big dude. And then him always dunking the football on the goalpost is something that I remember through my childhood and early on in my career when he was at the later part of his career that he did all the time.
And kind of like that football, you know, the basketball transition to the NFL. I feel like the guy was so durable as well. He missed 2 games in his career?
Yeah.
Played how many seasons?
He only missed 2 games?
18 seasons? How many seasons did he play? 18, 19, 20?
He missed how many games?
It was something ridiculous.
That's insane.
It was just nuts. He was just an absolute animal. So smooth, so athletic, and he was great off the field too. One of the best looking guys I've ever seen. Still to this day.
Handsome. He still looks like he can play.
I was watching him on Thursday Night Football last night, but he's a great analyst as well. You know, he just speaks the truth. He gives his insight. He's great for Amazon. And he was looking tan, shiny, handsome.
He had that white outfit on with he had that French kind of thing going.
Hairdo was on point.
Hair has always been on point. Tony Gonzalez has had spectacular, and it seems like it hasn't colored.
I bet this guy would walk into a club or bar in the middle of his heydays, and he wouldn't even have to say a word. And the freaking janitors would have to come out and put those signs that say, caution, wet. Don't slip.
He is that good looking.
Because he got all the girls' panties going. There's no doubt. He didn't even have to say a word. He would just walk in. That's the type of swag Tony Gonzalez has.
He was that good looking and
he was
swaggy aura.
And it translated to the field as well. His play was just a good looking.
Rob, what are some of the things that you tried to emulate from Tony's game?
Just overall, he was a complete tight end as well. It wasn't the greatest blocker of all time, but he did it. He exemplified what being a tight end was, you know? He wouldn't pancake guys, but he would get in the way. He would move guys. He was willing to block. That's kind of what made him so great. Just as a kid, Tony Gonzalez was one of my heroes growing up. I remember in Buffalo, when I was there growing up, I was in high school. You know, the Bills weren't that good, but there was a chance that Tony Gonzalez was about to get traded to the Buffalo Bills because he eventually did get traded to the Atlanta Falcons. And there's always talk because he was always on such crappy teams in Kansas City. And he always performed. He always produced. And that's what made him so great. But there was always trade talks as well at the end of his career with Kansas City for 5 years because he wanted to go win. And I remember our whole entire high school was talking about Tony Gonzalez going to the Buffalo Bills. Just how excited we all were because Tony Gonzalez was going to possibly get traded. It just never happened.
Could you imagine high school version of Rob and his boys in Buffalo Tony Gonzalez is here. We're back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly how it went.
Oh, my God.
It is true.
You know, he really did evolve. I think he's one of the huge figures or guys that help evolve the tight end position in that 90s window. Now, there was great tight ends, the Winslows and the Dickas in the back of the day. Those were really great tight ends. But, you know, it was kind of like those guys put their hand in the dirt and, you know, they were just kind of like an extension of the run game that sometimes went out to catch a pass. You know, Tony Gonzalez, he became, I remember watching him, which we used to do a lot with you, putting him outside the formation in the red area and saying, hey, we're just going to play jump ball with our tight end. Mm-hmm. I don't remember that before Tony Gonzalez, and I'm sure people are going to hit us in the comment sections with a bunch of guys that did. But for my era of football that I grew up with, that's what I remember. Tony Gonzalez just always having the ball in his hand, always doubled, finding a way, super savvy route runner, space guy because of basketball. It's very similar to basketball in space. He was great at the space. And then, you know, the guy was just freaking good looking.
He was good looking. That was a great way to end that, you know, that phrase of just everything you said about him.
Could you imagine? He'd probably be considered one of the best. Because they say one of the best with Tony Gonzalez. If he had a Super Bowl, would he be the best?
I feel like that not winning a Super Bowl is definitely hindering him.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks because he did everything possible and then more every single year.
Every year.
It was like
for a long time.
It wasn't like he had, I think he led the league in receptions one year in 2004, 102 catches. Like, when was the last time a tight end led the league in receptions? And like the next year he would have 95 receptions. The next year he would have 85. The next year he would have whatever, 90 more again. Like, he was so freaking consistent, and he never won a championship. Like, that's a tough situation to be in. That's sad. That kind of sucks as a player to play that long and be that consistent and just never been on the right team.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of almost won one with Atlanta. I think they went, to the playoffs a couple of times, but that was when we were in our era. You weren't going to beat us Patriots.
No.
But that just sucks, having little team success and always just giving it your all and always showing up. And it's hindering him, I would say, in the tight end rankings. People say, oh, Gronk, which is myself, Kelce, I mean, Tony Gonzalez is always up there, but I see people not put him in their top 5 before. Like,
That's crazy.
There's Antonio Gates.
And that,
well, it's Mike Ditka, they say. And
Winslow.
Yeah, Winslow. But Tony Gonzalez exemplified what being a tight end is. He's the one,
especially nowadays.
He's the one that made being a tight end cool to younger kids like myself.
I mean, he was such a badass in Kansas City. His rookie year, he had a flu game, a Jordan-type flu game where he balled the fuck out, managed to catch a touchdown pass, and he credited the performance to eating some chicken soup. Like, how smooth is this guy?
Well, what food gives you superpower, Jules? Chicken soup was Tony Gonzalez's superpower.
I would say tomato soup. I'm more of a tomato soup guy.
I feel like you were the English muffin with sausage. Egg, cheese, sausage, English muffin. I remember every single day you ate that, and it was like giving you your superpower.
I'd have a smoothie at 5, and then I'd have my right before team meeting, sausage, egg, and cheese.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that was your superpower.
Love a sausage.
Tomato soup? I never seen you have tomato soup, buddy.
I love tomato soup.
Yeah, I never seen you eat it.
But I was just trying to reference because of soup.
Yeah, but you never eat tomato soup.
Did you have a favorite pregame soup superpower?
Yeah, I did. I always had my chocolate milk with a peanut butter and jelly, and the jelly was my mom's homemade jelly.
What's a homemade jelly?
Jam.
What kind of fruit?
Strawberry jam.
Your mom made homemade jam?
Yeah, it's the best strawberry jelly ever.
I remember you came over with that chicken buffalo dip or whatever.
That was good
with
too.
Ritz crackers, and that's what you dip it in?
She made that as well. Stop talking about my mom.
Let's get on to.
That's what dudes do, though. Dudes do talk about moms, though. I mean, so
all the time.
I guess so. I mean, you're giving her props, so I guess you can keep talking about my mom. Jules.
I ain't saying anything sideways about Mama Gronk.
But I know where you go.
I
know where you go.
Get out of here,
Mrs. Edelman. I love her. I just saw her. You remember at the live show?
Yeah,
that was cool. But your dad was there, so I couldn't get a little inappropriate.
10 minutes.
So 10 minutes is up.
And what kind of dude is Tony Gonzalez?
This one was easy. I mean, he's like I said, he's a dude's dude. He's a dog. He's a freak. But the most characteristic that Tony Gonzalez exemplifies is definitely on and off the field. Big time, like no doubt about it. He's a freaking stud. Man. He's a stud.
Stud at everything he does. Basketball, football, analyst.
Breaking every record.
Bar settings, he's probably a stud.
Yeah. Super stud.
Super stud.
He's like that horse that you you go out and you made it.
Yeah, you get that stud come.
Yeah. He's a stud. He's the stud horse. I wonder if he has a thing as big as a horse too. Cause yeah, he's a stud. I'm not gonna try and imagine that, but I would probably say so.
But you just imagined it.
Yeah, I would probably say so. That's just Tony. He's such a stud. Stud muffin. He's like every muffin too. Stud muffin. He's a blueberry muffin. He's a cinnamon muffin. He's the regular muffin. What other muffins are there?
I like a lemon
banana
poppy
muffin.
seed.
Yeah, lemon poppy seed. He's a poppy seed. He makes those girls feel like they're numb. Yeah. Because that's what poppy seeds do, don't they? They give you a high, like morphine high. If you eat enough,
I think that's where they make heroin from, but I don't think that's from the muffin though.
No, it's from the poppy seeds.
Yeah, but like I think there's like a real extensive.
That's why he's a
extraction.
lemon poppy seed. Yeah, but he is the extraction.
All right, let's get on to our next. Put up the headshot.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next tight end here on National Tight Ends Day, who also started tight end U at Vanderbilt University every year that I went one time because I failed after I went because it's the Harvard of the South.
Hard place.
Yeah, it's a hard
Very
place.
beautiful, I heard. Never been.
It is. Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
Greg Olson.
What does AI say about Greg Olson?
All right, Greg Olson.
Start the clock.
Greg Olson. Oh,
Ocean. I like that.
Yeah, well, his hair looks like an ocean. It's all over the place. It kind of looks like a hurricane. All right. Greg Olson is celebrated as one of the top tight ends in NFL history. Known for his reliable hands. We were talking about that earlier. He has the most reliable hands in the NFL.
This guy had hands.
Yes, he does. And route running skills. Off the field, he is admired for his dedication to family and philanthropy, particularly through his Heart Test Yard Initiative. Heart Test Yard Initiative.
Heart test.
That's
a handful.
That's a hard test.
What's a heart test?
Heart test. Yeah.
Oh, heart.
All right.
Is
particularly through his Heart Test Yard Initiative,
I like that.
which supports families of children with congenital. It's like we said, everyone, we don't have the best vocabulary. This is dudes on dudes. We're learning as we go. We're not perfect here, but we get numbers right, okay? We get numbers right.
What AI is basically saying, he's for the kids.
Yeah, we're for the kids. Yes. Olson made a significant impact on the Carolina Panthers, helping them reach Super Bowl 50 and becoming the first tight end in history to have 3 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons from 2014 to 2016.
Wow.
He holds the Panthers franchise records for most receiving yards. He's lucky I got hurt because I would have held that 3 1,000-yard seasons in a row. But it's not about me.
It's not about.
Why am I making it about me? Tight ends don't make it about yourself. And
slot
I just made it about me.
receivers do.
Yeah, slot receivers do.
It's our little diva in us because we're not full diva, but we got a little diva.
It's about Greg Olson here. He holds the Panthers franchise records for most receiving yards, receptions, and 100-yard receiving games by a tight end. Wow. After retiring, Olson transitioned to a successful career in sports broadcasting. He's one of our teammates right now with the Fox team.
He's really good.
Further showcasing his football acumen. He does have a lot of football acumen, I can tell you that.
What is that like?
Like knowledge.
Knowledge.
Another word for knowledge. Cinnamon for knowledge. Not a right?
Synonymous.
Synonymous, yeah. He's
cinnamon.
Freaking cinnamon, right?
Cinnamon.
Yeah, cinnamon.
I like cinnamon.
He's tasty.
He's tasty.
Yeah, okay.
No.
Wow. This is bad, Jules. This is bad. Dudes just being dudes, though. This is what it's all about. Dudes just being dudes and just showing you who you are. We're not perfect.
It's cinnamon, bro.
Yes, it's cinnamon.
That's same now from now on.
Yeah, cinnamon.
From now on.
It is.
Hey.
The English dictionary better change that word to cinnamon.
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 Now.
Well, you want to know what acumen means? I kind of know that from back of my head. I was reading a book the other day, had the word. It's the ability to make good judgments and quick decisions. And that actually explains Greg Olson and his game. And that's why he had over 1,000 yards in 3 seasons in a row, because of his quick decisions. And when you're really quick at top of the route, when you have a 2-way go like Greg Olson, his favorite route of all time, he kind of runs kind of like diagonally to like the 10-yard mark where he has to go, and then the linebacker's sitting there at a safety, and you got to either split right like a bow or split in. What's the split in route where you like a
middle read?
No, not a middle read, like kind of like a
cross.
No, you go and it's like a angle route kind of, but it's at between 10 yards and 12 yards. You can either bow it or angle it, like an angle at 10.
Middle read.
Yeah, no, because it's not a middle read, because you still a middle read is when it's post double safety high, and you can go in the middle. So he was so good at making that decision and being decisive of should he go out on the guy on the defender or should he go in, and that's where he made his bread and money.
Bread and money.
You
just went full Will Ferrell in Old School right there.
Yes.
Did you guys see that?
That's his acumen.
Did you guys see that?
That's his acumen.
That's literally
Greg
just
Olson's acumen, ladies and gentlemen.
Will Ferrell in Old School at the fucking last thing where he competes the debate. And did you black out right there?
I did black out. And like old school, Will Ferrell was blacked out many times.
Frank the fucking Tank. No, Greg Olson, I mean, we threw on that film, and he's a lot more athletic than you remember. He wasn't like a guy that was going to kill you with his athleticism, but he had such great hands. Like, he would go up and make those one-handers. He did a lot of one-hander catches. He had great ball skills, and he was a very savvy guy as well. And he wasn't like he was a small guy. He's 6'5", 255, out of the U. What's up with the U and the tight ends?
Tight end U, man.
Is that...
They were called tight end U, man. When I was a kid, Miami
was probably... Who's tight end U now?
Iowa's tight end U now, but the University of Miami, oh my gosh, they were producing tight ends left and right, man.
Shockey.
I loved Miami, dude,
Olson,
when I was growing up.
Bubba Franks,
Winslow.
Joku.
Oh my gosh. Joku is like the new school version of tight end U at the University of Miami. But man, were they producing tight ends, man. University of Miami was, they were on point.
And he was a track star in high school.
Yeah, he was.
Javelin.
Maybe that's why he was so good with his hands, because he was always using his hands in track.
Throwing it?
Yeah, just throwing, like holding, that javelin stick.
I've never met a javeliner.
Yeah.
I guess I have.
Like, what do you do?
No,
how do you throw it? Like that?
That's called a shake weight.
Oh, shake weight. Oh, that's a shake weight. Never threw a javelin before.
It's just like the spear.
Oh.
They throw.
All right.
It's like a football throw. I bet he can throw. Can he throw a football for it?
Like being a gladiator and throwing that spear and just boom, tossing it 40 yards.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's like so he did javelin. I mean, the first thing you think of Greg Olson, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
That's good technique.
Looks good.
He's young.
Look at that face. He's beautiful.
He got that.
He was defined in high school. I don't know what happened. Like, he's like one of those like tight ends with a dad body again. That's what made him last long.
He lasted long.
He lasted long, but he was jacked in high school.
He hit me up during that 3,000 yard or the 3,000 yard seasons. He broke his foot, and I broke my foot. And I remember us communicating over the Jones fracture. That was the first time I ever got, a call from him. And to watch him on TV, he's killing in the TV. He's really knowledgeable about the game. He's fun. He's got that little dorkiness in him.
He does.
He's got that little dork like that.
But he plays it off.
He's a dad joke.
He plays it off really well.
He's a fun guy to be around.
He is. And he is who he is. Like, he expresses who he is. It doesn't matter, man. That's why you love him, man. That's what you love about people. He's not hiding himself at all.
Never.
No, never. And I trained with him, actually. I remember what was really cool is that I was coming out of the University of Arizona, and we had the same agent, Drew Rosenhaus. And Drew Rosenhaus had me call Greg Olson. He was the only player I called to ask about Drew Rosenhaus and also ask about the training process of training for the combine and all that. And I remember Greg Olson did give me some great advice, man. He said, hey, you're going to think all the little details are stupid, but make sure you do them all, because those are actually the biggest things in the end. And I still remember that to this day, that he goes, do all the warm-ups, all the recovery things that you got to do after you trained all day. He says, just do all the details of the little things and you will be fine. So thank you, Greg, for the advice, man. I remember talking to you on the phone and just the advice of going through the NFL process. He was the only player I talked to through that time. So good dude, man. Good dude. Wasn't, looking out for himself, but he was looking out for me on that phone call, which was cool.
You think he called Bledsoe after Brady replaced him? I'm in roast mode. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey, Julian.
I'm in roast mode.
Did he call Bledsoe? Because Bledsoe got replaced by Tom.
There you go.
Sorry. I'm a tight end. We're a little slow, okay? Tight ends are sometimes a little bit slower, but our personalities are just freaking awesome. We are the coolest players on the field.
We
really are. Name a tight end that isn't cool. Exactly. You can't. You're thinking about it. That means
they really are. They really are.
Yeah. You want to know who's really cool? Dallas Goedert. I was hanging out with him at tight end U when I was actually smart enough to go, because it's the Harvard of the South, like we were talking about. And I was just hanging out with him. I didn't even know who he was. I know who Dallas Goedert was, but
helmets. It's hard to know.
I had no clue what Dallas Goedert ever looked like. And like this dude had the hair flowing and everything. I was talking to him like, this dude cool as shit. And then like 2 days later, I saw a picture of us online and it says like Dallas Goedert and Rob Gronkowski together. I was like, oh my freaking God. I didn't even know that was Dallas Goedert.
Guys running 70-yard touchdowns.
Yeah, I just thought he was cool as shit. Yeah.
And that's what tight ends are. And Greg Olson's the epitome of that. Just cool as shit.
Yeah, he is cool as shit.
Just
he really
cool
is.
as shit. Athletic. He had kind of that basketball stuff. He wasn't a burner. He had great hands. He made big plays for his team. He went to a Super Bowl. He's got crazy stats. You know, he had the 3,000-yard seasons.
What attribute, the best attribute or characteristic that Greg Olson contained in his pocket, his secret weapon, was his route running skills.
His route running
skills, one of the best in the game at the tight end position.
He'd like lull you. I always see him hitting that bow route. He'd marry his routes together. Remember, he was really good at that bow route. Remember that cover 4? I always see him hit it in like the fringe shot where you're right outside the red area, the 20. And they'd always run that. They'd get cover 4 and they'd run that post and he'd run that bow route and they'd hit him on that. I remember seeing that one. We installed something. We stole it from them because we were copying it. We liked the way they ran it, and he'd run that bow route, and he caught it right on that 1 yard line. He's an awesome guy.
He doesn't care about his looks. He doesn't care about like what's going on out there. He just cares about being a good dude, being a family man. And that's why I love him, man. I love being around him. He's always so positive. And he can also, by the way, when I trained with him when I was young too, the guy just never stopped talking. Never stopped talking. And it was always the best. It was always
That's why he's on TV.
And literally from the first day I met him, I was like, this guy is going to be a commentator one day. He's going to be an announcer. And then he actually landed perfectly in that spot after his football career. And when he signed with Fox too, and I think it was like the first year he signed with Fox was like the first year I did when I first retired. I did a couple games as well. And I was literally just thinking in my mind, just talking to him, this guy has landed in the perfect field for him. Like he's so good
great
at
storyteller.
It, so intelligent. Yeah, great storyteller. Great.
And he looks like Grizzly Adams a little bit. He's got an underrated chin.
If Grizzly Adams did have a beard.
Yeah. Happy Gilmore. Coming out, number 2's coming out soon.
Yeah.
A little mad at Sandler for not hitting us up.
I know. Isn't he a New England guy? Adam Sandler, New England guy?
He's from New Hampshire.
New England players?
But his family grew up in
like, I don't get it.
New York.
Like, and that's my favorite movie of all time.
Kelce's in it.
Yeah, he is in it. But
we didn't get hit up.
I mean, I can't hate on Travis being in it.
I can't either.
Travis is freaking Travis. I mean, he's top of his game on the field, off the field. Like, I'm just disappointed in Happy Gilmore Productions, I guess, or what is it?
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Happy Madison.
Well, now we're giving him shout outs and he didn't even want us in his movie.
I know.
We got no hate, Jules.
No hate.
We still love him and we're still going to watch Happy Gilmore too.
Oh, without a doubt.
No doubt about it. And Happy
times.
Gilmore is still my favorite movie. I actually watched it about 3 weeks ago. It was on TV and I never turn it off. This is what I loved about Greg Olson too.
Well, you said he talked a lot.
He does talk a lot. And that kind of explains why he came out with a rap song.
And it was good.
It was really good. It was really awesome and explained a lot of details on how they lived life at the University of Miami, which was really cool. I was a big fan, no doubt about it. You were probably a big fan as well.
I never listened to it. I lied right there fully. But it was called the 7th Floor Crew Rap.
Yes, and it was a legendary rap song by some of the Miami players in 2003. And they were just doing it, I think, as a joke from what I've heard Greg Olson say before, like just to have fun. And it just blew up out of nowhere. But it kind of made, the University of Miami even more, prominent in my mind, especially at the tight end position.
One of his, I think, what was his name was Third Leg Greg? Was his name Third Leg Greg?
Well,
Scary Weather was in it.
Yeah, Scary Weather.
Scary Weather.
Mm-hmm. Third Leg Greg, his name was.
And John Beeson.
Oh, he was a beast, man.
Yeah,
he was a beast linebacker.
That's fun. We got to listen to that.
Yeah, we do.
We'll put it out on Insta. And we want to hear what you guys say in the crowd. Rob, what would your rap name be?
Kind of think. I've said it plenty of times before. It's kind of easy, basic. Robbie G, the one and only. I mean, right?
Robin G.
Robbie G.
The one and only?
Yeah. Robbie G, the one and only.
Robbie
Kind of
G.
a long name, though. So maybe that's not it.
Rap name. I think my name would be
like the Jewelster?
Nah, it'd be
the Squirrelster?
Young Squirrel J.
Young Squirrel J? I want a better name now. Robbie G, the one and only, is too long. Come on, Jules. What
I just went 3. Young Squirrel J.
Yeah, that's quick and easy, right to the point.
Young Big Piece.
Yeah, Young Big Piece.
You just throw Young in front of anything, it could be
Mr. Big Piece.
Young Big Piece.
Because I carry a massive gun with me. I'm dangerous.
It's loaded.
Yeah, it's loaded. It's National Tight End Day. People want to rob me. All right.
We got a rap name generator to find the perfect rap name for Rob.
All right.
What's your favorite TV character?
We'll go with SpongeBob.
SpongeBob.
Oh, this is going to be a gangster name.
Your real life first name?
Robert.
Robert. Your real life last name?
Gronkowski.
The name of a criminal?
Whitey Bulger.
Whitey Bulger. Something really pleasant.
Bulldog. Because I have a French bulldog. So you can't write French bulldog. And you can't write the name Ralphie. You got to let them know. And bulldog's pretty aggressive because rappers like bulldog. So this is going to be an aggressive name. I like it.
I like this. An adjective to describe you and your music.
Well, I want this name like gangster. I want it to be hard. So I would just say rap.
Rap. I like that.
Because we're going for a rap name anyway. So.
And your favorite childhood pet?
Junior.
Junior.
I had a dog. I had a dog named Junior. It was what are those dogs? A pug. Pug named Junior.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Bulldog Gronk.
I guess we're just sticking with the one and only. Robbie G, the one and only. I'm Robbie G, the one and only. If you don't know me, I'm sorry. If you want to, I don't want to say the rest because it's very inappropriate. That's why I stopped the first time.
Time's up. What kind of dude is Greg Olson? Okay.
I mean, he's a freak, but he's not a freak.
He's not a freak.
He's kind of got that,
he's definitely a dude's dude.
He is a dude's dude.
He's definitely maybe a whiz.
He is a whiz as well, because that knowledge, that's why he's such a great commentator.
And
that was replaced by
he was a first-round draft pick?
Yeah, he was a first-round draft pick to the Chicago Bears. Kind of a slow start. They traded him to the Panthers. But, everyone has a slow start when they get to the NFL. Not everyone, but a lot of guys do. But it's okay. He picked it up in Carolina. But
So what are the two that you're leaning on?
I'm going to go with Wiz, dude's dude. Kind of a stud in a way because he's a stud. He just owns whatever, he just owns himself. He looks
like a stud. Like
he does.
Blonde hair, 6'5", blue eye.
He is.
Like you see that javelin picture? He looks like he should be on a Wheaties box.
I want to go with Wiz though. We haven't had many Wizzes, and he's a Wiz because of his knowledge and just the way he can explain anything, break down anything, to be able to get open in many circumstances on the field.
And he was clutch.
Be a smart player.
He was clutch for his team.
Yes.
He was clutch for his team. Gotta love some tight end talk. Bunch of tight ends. You know what I mean? Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment. Let's get into the chillest dude of the week, brought to you by our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes. Celebrate responsibly. This week's chillest dude of the week, Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson, ball coach. Got to work with them. One of the smartest football minds of all time. National champion in college with one of the most memorable college runs, the U. Started that and then transitioned and went to the Cowboys and had the success he had with that 3. I mean, he made those teams too. He was the GM. He talks. I mean, I get to sit and talk with him a lot. And he's been such an awesome. He gave me a nugget. So, Coach Jimmy, thank you so much. We went to the Chiefs practice, and we were in production meeting for the pregame show, and something came up, and he threw me a nugget by saying, "Hey, Jules, we spoke with Veach. Talk about how he loved Juju." Like, he gave me something like that I was watching practice and just infatuated with watching practice. Jimmy was watching the practice to bring to the show, which I was doing, but he put me in the right lane to pull from my experience and come up with a bit that I talked about on Sunday. So I love Jimmy. He's been such a good dude. He's there early. He's like the first one there. Jimmy Johnson, one of the first, like he gets up at like a ball coach. They get up, they check the weather. They get up at like 4 a.m. to check the weather, go over their game plan, because he's the coach of the crew. It's fun. And he's just got such an awesome, lovable personality. He'll throw he throws these little jabs and these little left field throws like in the joke room and stuff. Like he's just it's been so cool. I've only worked with him 2 years, but I've watched him forever. I am a fan of the game, and he's this week, and he's been such a huge part of the National Football League, college football in general. So, man, kudos to Coach for retirement. I want to give a cheers, but I just popped up in my head because when we're at Fox, I guess Jimmy retired last year, and they were saying so. And Terry, they just they're boys. It's like Terry's over here like, oh, we're gonna do another one, or I think he left the retirement when he found out he had a retirement thing, and Terry's like, is this another one? Like I had to leave last. Like it's fucking comical. It's awesome. And I love these guys, and I love Coach. Cheers to Coach. Enjoy retirement. I'm sure you won't be that far. I'm sure you'll have some capacity of some form. We got to get you a podcast, Coach. Let's get you a podcast. All right? Love you, Coach Jimmy. That was the Chillest Dude of the week. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/dudes. Celebrate responsibly. Well, man, that just got me going. I love Coach Jimmy. That's been another episode of Dudes on Dudes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to your podcast. Comment a dude you want us to do, and rate and review. Leave 5-star review on Spotify while you're there. We need those. We love those. And we want to communicate with those, cross-pollination. Just threw that term out because it's spring and I see the beautiful flowers outside just blooming. Remember to follow Dudes on Dudes on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Snapchat. We'll see you guys next week. Dudes on Dudes is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.